A thought or two on motivation. What motivates us? Obviously something is triggered, perhaps by a motivational speech, perhaps by somebody saying something, or even reading a book. This provides the impetus. But using the analogy of a wheel travelling along on this journey of continuing motivation, what impels us to keep going? We can go along and hear a motivational speaker and be revved up, geared up, I'm going to change the world. And 2 or 3 days later, nothing has changed at all. But if the motivation is such that it interests us to the point where we don't mind just adding another pat to the spinning wheel every now and again, the motivation keeps going. Not only that, the wheel might even increase in speed. Many years ago, I became interested in self-knowledge and self-understanding. How did it come about? I wasn't of a religious bent, and yet a book arrived in my hands called Theosophy. And I read it and was so impressed by it, I thought, this begins to make sense to me. All of the other religious teachings and so forth I've heard didn't mean much, but now I had a book which was completely different. And from there on, I kept patting it along and learning more and more about the things which interested me. Now here's the point. If we want to keep the motivation going, if we want to keep the wheel spinning, we need to be lifelong learners in that subject. But that's not enough, because what comes in must flow out. Otherwise we become stagnant. We're like a pool, stagnant pool, nothing flowing through. So the obvious answer is, what we learn we need to teach. It's logical. Lifelong learning, lifelong teaching. Now how can you do that? People mightn't want to listen to your teaching. You mightn't have enough alphabet after your name, enough letters. And so forth, and because of this, you're not regarded as creditable. No longer the case. Now you can put things on LinkedIn and YouTube and your own website. And if people like it, they'll give you ticks, they'll give you feedback, they might even tell you you're talking rubbish. That doesn't matter. You are now doing the whole bit. Learning and teaching. Learning and teaching, keeping up the flow. Once that impetus kicks you off, doing something you really like, you get into it, and the more you know about a subject, the more you begin to love it. So find your subject, find what gets you going. Keep learning about it and keep teaching about it. There are lots of people out there waiting for the knowledge and the wisdom that you can provide.